Someone once said, "For everything you gain, you must lose something. For nothing great is ever achieved without sacrifice." In 1927, Charles Lindbergh flew non-stop from New York to Paris. The first transatlantic telephone call from New York to London was made. The first demonstration of television took place. And in the town of Las Cruces, sacrifices were being made by W.I. Smith and a small group of people to form the great church of First Assembly of God. Edna Morton reflects on some of those sacrifices.
My first encounter with Brother W.I. Smith was when I was 15 years of age. I had a ringworm on the side of my face, and he anointed me with oil and prayed for me. I don't know when the ringworm disappeared. All I know is the next time I looked in the mirror, it was gone. That first encounter with Brother Smith told me that he was all about building people. I can recall the construction of the first building of First Assembly. Brother Smith and his wife had to decide whether to build a church or to build a home for themselves. They chose to build a church and to stay with family members. That may seem to be a great sacrifice for some, but for Brother and Sister Smith, it was a great opportunity to build the kingdom of God. That was the kind of man Brother Smith was, and that's the heart of this church.
So the journey of First Assembly of God began. This great church has grown tremendously through the years, and God has poured out His Spirit and His blessings upon First Assembly. And now, over 75 years later, the journey continues.
Hello, I'm David Vistine, pastor at First Assembly of God Church. You know, we have a great heritage at our church, and we've come to this point in our journey because of the commitment and sacrifices of those that have gone before us. We've passed many crossroads, and we've made many changes in the past based upon a common desire to reach the lost for Christ. In fact, years ago, we've relocated to this present location, not to build a beautiful building, but to build people, to win them and to disciple them, and then send them back out to reach a lost world. Once again, we're at a crossroads. We must step out in faith and trust the Lord to enlarge our borders so that we can continue to minister effectively to our community. As we move forward in this journey, we will never forget our past. But we believe that the greatest days of ministry are now before us. We're excited about the growth that God's given to us. But with growth, there always comes problems. We have simply outgrown our facilities at First Assembly. On Sunday morning, you'll find it's more difficult to find a parking place. In fact, we're in 4 services now on Sunday mornings. And our Sunday school classes on Sunday mornings and Wednesday night are filled to capacity. We now are discovering that the chapel is becoming too small for our Spanish ministries, along with the children and youth ministries that use it. We're continuing to see pressing needs for our choir and music ministry, and the list goes on and on of the needs that we have around us. God has dropped an incredible blessing into our hands by helping us purchase 36 acres of land out on Highway 70. We believe that God has brought us to this point in our journey for such a time as this. We believe that God is still calling us to build people and not just buildings, to be a caring church touching a hurting world. Our harvest field continues to grow here in the Mesilla Valley. In the next 20 years, over 100,000 people will move into our valley. We need facilities, not just to disciple and care for those who currently attend our church, but we need to facilitate and be able to reach the new people that have yet not come to Christ. We believe that the harvest is great, and the challenge is before us, and we must be faithful to do our part.
Having the space for an 80 to 100 member choir up in the sanctuary.
We're going to facilitate for all these children, where we have enough room so we can have ministry leaders in every department for every single one of these kids so that they can all get a chance to be ministered, a chance to do their own ministering.
A place where youth can come, where they can grow emotionally, where they can grow spiritually.
A center for spiritual growth for the Spanish ministry.
A place of prayer and worship that's unprecedented in any of the Assembly's churches throughout the country.
I believe God has called First Assembly to be a regional church. That's a great responsibility. But I know when God gives a great vision to His people, He also brings the provision. You see, nothing ever great happens without sacrifice. And that's the theme of our campaign. It's not equal giving, it's equal sacrifice. Not everyone can give the same amount, but everyone can sacrifice to see something great accomplished for the kingdom of God. There's so much that God has called us to do, and your part may seem so small, but if you will do it with all of your heart, God will bring a blessing to you and will bless those who follow you. We can't do this alone. We need your help. I ask you to jump on board and join us for this journey.